Hello and welcome to Tricks of the Straight channel. Today is the 6th of March 2017, and in today's video we have AzMarie Livingston. If you've never heard about AzMarie Livingston, I would call her a he at this point, is in the video in the series called Empire, which is a Fox show. And before I get into the video, like I always say, if it's your first time watching a video on this channel, I always recommend that you look for the primer video on this channel. You watch that first, and that you also download the document that's attached to every video that we make, which will show you the visual differences between a male and a female. And also I recommend that you watch the Zayn Malik video, and I also recommend that you watch the Marilyn Monroe video. Now, with that said, as I usually say, we are not against transgenders, right? We are not against any adult who says, okay, I don't think I was born in the right sex, or my body's not mine, I want a new body, and then that's what I should be. Because it's a fantasy, like I've always said, because biologically you can't change the DNA that you're born with, or the skeletal structure, which will always remain the same. And when you get to a hospital, you can't get treated in a different sex other than the birth sex that you have. So it's a fantasy. And like I said, it's a cosmetic fantasy. It's more like a cosmetic fantasy of trying to change, let's say, a human being. It's not going to work. It's a fantasy. You can't build castles in the sky. You have to build castles on firm earth, on rocks, right? So what we are trying to expose to you is that there is a machine, right? A system put in place to take young children before they can reach that adult decision-making process in which they can decide, okay, I want to live this fantasy of saying that I can be in a gender or sex that's different from the birth sex that I was born with. These children are mutilated, castrated, fed hormones, and forced to live in a sex and gender that's not theirs. And as I've always said, that the people who are at the top of this hierarchy is the Vatican. They control everything. Now, why is that people don't know that the Vatican controls everything? It's because during the late 1400s, so when the Roman Catholic hierarchy was losing its power, because a lot of kings were starting to rebel against the Roman Catholic Empire and Church, and when they were being overt about it. That means overt in the sense that if they caught you and you were a rebel, right? Especially because one of the main things that caused this rebellion was because the Bible was being made common, in the sense that way back during the Roman Catholic Church, the Bible wasn't common to everybody. And people always think that the Bible is just a religious book. It's not a religious book. It's a history book. It's a book that will make you wise. Now, the Roman Catholic Church had the let's say the control of the Bible. The Bible was written or spoken in Latin. So that means, for example, if you were in an English-speaking country or a Germanic country, or let's say any other country that had a different language, when the Roman Catholic Church, when you were going to Mass, they would read the Bible to you in Latin. And you who don't speak Latin would just sit down, and then the priest would interpret it any kind of way what he wanted, and you would just accept that and go home. But you wouldn't understand what was being read to you. The Bible wasn't made common. So when the Bible started being made common through the Reformation led by Martin Luther and a lot of other monks and priests, and people's eyes were beginning to get open. They were starting to see the word or hear the word through the Bible. They started to understand a lot of things. And so they started to rebel against the Roman Catholic Church. So the Roman Catholic Church now started what they call something like the Spanish Inquisition. That means if you were caught with a Bible, you would be killed. and you would be burned. And so when people started to see this, it had the Roman Catholic Church, the Vatican, in their crosshairs. They could actually see, okay, so the Vatican is really the problem. So when the Vatican realized that killing people and burning Bibles wasn't solving the problem, instead people were getting bolder to actually confront them. They decided not to be overt about it anymore, but to be covert. All right. That means to rule behind the scenes. All right. So then they now introduce what they call middlemen. So that's the reason why you have the Jews, like the Rothschild, and any other name that you might hear, like the Morgans. There's a whole lot of them. You can go through your whole list. They started to rule by proxy, by using middlemen, men they could trust, and it's the same thing that is happening up till today. All right. So that is the reason people can see that the Vatican runs everything. All right. So they rule by proxy, and they will rule by proxy until they have taken over everything. Then they can now show themselves as the true rulers. So that's what they're doing. And that's why people are getting confused. And part of the reason why, because remember, they were trying to take care of the Bible, making sure that people wouldn't have access to the Bible, which was full of wisdom, full of truth, was full about human history. All right. One thing they decided today was to distort the reality that we live in. And through every available means and media that they could control and own. So when you see a lot of like transgenders, all right, because for example, they can stop the printing of Bibles, they can stop the reading of Bibles, but what they will do is distort the reality that the Bible presents to you, so that you would think that the Bible is false. All right. So for example, if the Bible says that God created the world, they say it's the Big Bang. All right. They say God created man. They say it's evolution. Okay. They say God created male and female. They create transgenders. They say God created a heterosexual, male and females having sex. They created homosexuality. Not that people can be homosexual, but they portray this as the right way to live, messing up your reality, distorting the reality that you live in, so that you would have disbelief in that Bible when you read it. So that is what is going on here, right? And another thing that I wanted to talk about is, like, one of the ways they try to control people, right, is by creating monopolies. Monopolies, like, say, big banks and big business, right, that have like globalization at their core, and ruling everything, that's creating just one single monopoly. And one of the tricks of creating these monopolies is through mergers. They merge other companies into a bigger company, so they can control the price and fix the price of stuff and goods to be able to control you. So that's the way it works. So for example, they create all sorts of scenarios for banks to fail, and banks will continue failing until they can all form a great huge monopoly of maybe one or two banks that run the whole entire system. From then on, they can control everybody. That's what's going to happen. And one of the tricks that they always tell you is, like, a bank is failing, so it has to merge with another bank. But creating a monopoly, it's also, let's say, what I would call it's what I would call a trick and a scam, because in an actual sense, mergers of banks or companies into a single doesn't always solve the problem. Because let's say, for example, let me just give you a typical example. There is a bridge that crosses a river, and that bridge is supposed to carry, let's say, 50 people, the weight of 50 people across. If it carries more than 50 people across, the bridge will break. So that's what mergers do, because they always try to lie to you and tell you that the bank is failing, and so you're afraid and you're scared, and you believe that the mergers is for your own good, but it's not. It's only to fix and control the price of money so they can control you. So with that said, with all that little bit of knowledge that I'm just trying to share, make people understand your world, let's get into AzMarie Livingston. Now, as I've said before, she's the he's the dude called. Here's a picture of him right now. He's on the show called Empire, right? And she acts um, as chicken. She's chicken, one of the friends to one of the people. Now I tried watching the show for a bit, some time way back when it started, but it wasn't my kind of show, so I just had to like stop watching because it's got this gay director and producer called, is it Daniel Lee Daniels, all right, that's his name, Lee Daniels, right there. And so, like I'm saying, the Vatican always tries to distort your reality, right? To paint a fantasy for you and tell you that this is how you should ought to live and this is how people ought to be. So AzMarie Livingston is a man, right? And I'm gonna present the facts to you so that you can understand that. So she started, or he started as America's Next Top Model, right? He was in that show. Um, he was in the season finale in 2012, and then from then he went on to be in a documentary called The Same Difference, and then a TV series called No Shoes Con Planito. Then she was since she's been in some shows like that, and right now is in a movie called Sins of the Father, which will be shown shortly, and is acting for another movie called Almost Amazing. And this is AzMarie Livingston. So let's get into this, all right? And here's AzMarie Livingston now. As you can see, the show behind is Fox Empire. Now, you looking at this face, right? You would think that you're looking at a female, but it's not. It's a dude. Can you see the strong neck here, right? And look at how square and long the face is and how strong the features are. I'm not saying females can have strong features, but this one right here is a male, all right? You can see the eyebrow ridge right there. Let me try to blow that up a little bit more so you can see what I'm talking about. See the eyebrow ridge right here? You're looking at a male, all right? And you can see how strong the thighs are because men have well balanced like quadricep muscles and the hamstrings behind. Can you see that? You're looking at a dude right here, and look at the knees also, right? That's a male knee because men have more kneecaps because of the balance that they have between the quadriceps and the hamstring. But for AzMarie, who I'm sure has gone through like hormone replacement therapy and it's making him dump a lot of like fat on the upper thigh, which women usually do. Even though that hasn't changed the difference of the knee, you can still see that knee right there because of that imbalance. So because with women would have like more upper thigh, and so that would flood into the kneecap, and this kneecap wouldn't show up this much, right? So and you can look at the feet, right? You're looking at a male right here, okay? Some more pictures, right? And this is him AzMarie Livingston with Raven Simone. There was one time they said that they were dating. Now, as with anything in Hollywood, we don't know if this was a deal just to put him on the map, because they create all this kind of fake relationships and through contracts and whatsoever. They'll say, oh, we'll pay you some money, all right, if you go ahead and put this person on the map and look like you're acting or dating, and they take it. So that's why they say that in Hollywood everybody's a Freemason. They keep secrets, they don't tell you the truth. So here's her with Reverend Simone, and you would think, because I remember when I first watched the show Empire, right? Like the first couple of episodes, I was like, that's a strong looking chick, but it looks like a dude. But TV said it was female, so I ran with it. Only now, as I'm getting to find out that you can't trust anybody or anything you see on TV, and you can still see the Adam's apple is still a little bit in there, and you can see like see the eyebrow ridge right over there, and that's it. So you're looking at a dude. So some more pictures here. And look at the straight back. Now, if it's your first time watching this channel, like I always say, you always have to download the document that we have, read that so that you can understand what we're talking about and know the visual differences between males and females. Now, a male will always have a straight back because of the wider shoulders that he has. All right, it's the one of the designs of the skeletal structure of a male, and a female will always have an arch in her back. Right, the arch is going to start just below the shoulder blades. It's going to dip right in, then it's going to come out into the pelvis. It's not going to go straight down. So if it's your first time on your show, I'll just do a little bit of justice just to show you what I'm talking about with a picture. All right, now here is a female over here, and here is a male over here. This is a document which is going to be attached to the video, so you download and read so you can know the visual differences. As you can see, a female's back goes straight, right, goes down and starts arching or bending just below her shoulder blades. It goes right in. You can follow my mouse, and when it gets to the navel, it starts coming out and dipping into her buttock area. Right, with a man has a straight back. If the back is gonna curve or arch, it's gonna arch outside. It's not gonna arch inside. It's gonna arch outside like a capital letter D. For a female, it's gonna be an S-shaped spine or a C. As you can see, you can draw a C from here, but if you're drawing from the top, it's gonna be an S. From the neck down, it's gonna be an S-shaped spine. With a man, it's gonna be a D, as you can see right here, right? So let me just scroll down to show you some more pictures so you could better understand what we're talking about. Now, if a female bends or anything, you're always going to see that arch in her back. Female always has to have that arch in her back. The reason for the arch in the back is because so if she gets pregnant, she can carry the full weight of pregnancy without spilling over and tumbling and having difficulties walking or doing anything. All right. So let's show you some more pictures, right? So you can better understand what we're saying. Just let me scroll down further a bit. So it doesn't matter if the female is got muscles, right? There's always going to be an arch in her back like that, right? Arch, right? You see that? It's going to be like a C, right? A C-shaped spine. If you turn a C like that, if you face the right way, right? It's always going to be an arch like that or an S-shaped spine. And some more, so you can see right now here the arch just starts dipping just below the shoulders. It dips into the pelvis and then comes out. Sorry, dips below the shoulders into a navel from the back, and then dips in and then comes out into the pelvis. It doesn't matter if she's got muscles. You always have to see that arch in a female's back, like right here, right? You see that arch there? It just starts dipping below the shoulder blades. Another thing, a woman's shoulder blades are always going to be closer together. They are smaller, right? And they're going to be more angled. You're going to see like more angular formation in the shoulder blades. But I'm just showing you about the back, the arch in the back right now. You can see it dips, goes in, then comes into a pelvis. See that arch right there? With a man, it's always going to be straight up and down into the pelvis. If it bends at all, it's going to be like a D shape, as you can see right here. These are D facing the opposite direction, and you're going to see like a more back width from the side for a man. Some more pictures. Straight, see that? Straight into the spine. There's no arch. Straight into the spine, no arch. And that's what we have with AzMarie Livingston here. As you can see, a straight spine, right? You're looking at a male. Now, if you're homosexual and you like this kind of stuff, then that's your thing. We can't judge you on that. That's your lifestyle. That's your fantasy. So as you can see the strong features of AzMarie right here, that you're looking at a male, right? See the straight back again? And look at the fingers, the knuckles right here, right? Looking at a man's hands, right? Some more pictures. And since he's been going through some sort of hormone therapy, so he's been feeding himself enough estrogen, making him grow like small, tiny breasts, and that will fool you. But when you look at the straight back right here, right? Look at that, straight up and down. There's no arch. You're looking at a male. Okay. Some more pictures. All right. And that's still AzMarie Livingston. As you can see, the strong hands, the long hands that almost takes up the whole entire length of the face. Today we're more focused on like showing you the main features that you can see, which is always the straight back, right? And he's been feeding himself hormones, estrogen, to be is what I think, which is estrogen is the requirement but you can still see the male brow ridge here. You're looking at a male. All right. Okay. Some more pictures. There's a male, as you can see. And people will see this and have a fantasy about it and think, oh, it's gorgeous. But that's what Hollywood paints you, a false reality, a false sense of reality, of understanding your world. And look at the eyebrow ridge, right? You're looking at dude right here. Okay. Some more pictures. Here's a dude right again here, just showing you the straight back again, straight up and down into the pelvis. There's no arch in that back to show you that you're looking at a female. This is a dude right here, and see the way it stands? See that straight back there right there? All right, you're looking at a male. Let's go further. Some more pictures again. I'm showing you the wide shoulders right here. See that? The wide, strong, angular shoulders, strong neck muscles. And they've done a lot of some major work in it, but like feeding it estrogen is going to have some sort of skin exfoliation so that the skin can look lighter and thinner as a female skin should be. But the straight no hourglass figure just shows you're looking at a male, right? And the position of the navel. I don't want to talk about that right now, but I just want you to look at that straight up and down. There's no hourglass figure or curve, right? To show you that you're looking at a female. Some more pictures. Straight back again. See the straight back there? Straight into the pelvis. Straight into the pelvis, just like mine. You're looking at a male, right? Forget about the fake boobs and breast here that it's gotten through hormone replacement therapy and replacing his estrogen with a lot of, replacing his testosterone with a lot of estrogen. You can see that. You're looking at a male. Some more pictures. Look at that. Straight back, straight up and down, straight, square shoulders, no arch, fake boobs, a lot of work on the face to make you look like it's female, some injections on the lips to make the lips look poutier and all that. But you can see the angles it creates. It creates all sorts of straight angles, weird angles, because it's a male. It's a male, okay? Some more pictures. They've dressed him up here. And you would see this on maybe the red carpet or a movie that you're watching or at a show, and you would think that you're looking at a female, but here is a dude. They made it, gave you some hair, put it in a dress, but it's still a straight back. You can't deny, right? And see, when I told you from the side, you see a lot of width back from the side, back muscles. Looking at a dude, all right? Some more pictures. See the big head. Can you see the big head? Now, some work has been done on the neck as well, because they do a lot of work through like Brazilian butt lifts and what they call the body contouring, which will try to contour the neck to make it look like a female. But you're looking at a dude right here, okay? The huge heavy head is still on top, all right? The wide neck to support that huge heavy head that men have, all right? Men have 10% more brain, heavier skulls than women, all right? Of the same height, the same ethnicity. When you take into account those two factors, the ethnicity, the account of the height, and the account of the weight, right? So some more pictures here. Straight back again, just showing the straight back of a male. There's no arch in that back. It's straight up and down, telling you that you're looking at a male. Okay, see that? And here's, I don't know where I pulled this photograph from, but I just pulled it just to show you the straight back. It should be something maybe from America's Next Top Model or so. And look at that square face and strong jawline features, right? Look at, it's got some injection into the lips to make it look power like a female, but you're looking at a male. Okay, straight back again, so you're looking at a male. All right, straight back, no arch in there. Look at the hands. That's a male hand. See that? Male hands. See that? Straight back. All right, looking at a male. And looking at a male again. Don't be deceived. Accept you're homosexual, then you go for it. Okay? And look at the square shoulders. Look at the strong hands. Look at that strong masculine long hands, large hands that men have. You're looking at a male. Okay? It's male again. Straight back. See that? Straight back. And you're probably going to see this thing kiss, another man on TV just to create that whole homosexual agenda for you. I mean, if it's that your thing, that's your thing. But if you're about the truth and you want to understand your world and know your truth, know the truth of your world, you're looking at a male. So with that said, I've come to the end of this video. I would advise you to subscribe If you like, leave your comments and stay tuned. And always remember, like I usually say, that you look with your eye, you look with your eyes, but you see with your brain. Thank you, and bye bye.